Hey, SB Nation. This is RK Anthony, or actually Jim Walker. Uh, Seth sent out an email. Inadvertently referred to me as Jim Baker. It's actually Jim Walker, better known as RK Anthony from Welcome to Loud City. I'm the one that kind of stumbled onto the OBS studio and thought I would just kind of throw a little clip up here to kind of give you some of you guys that might be interested in using it, an idea of its versatility and what you can do to enhance your live feeds. The drawback with using just your smartphone is that it's just strictly your video live. There's a few things that you can do with live phone. Obviously, I mean with a smartphone that you can't do with your desktop. You can't tote the desktop off to the ball game or anything like that. But if you're doing your shows strictly from your home or something like that, or the majority of them, and you want to liven them up and add a little bit to them, the OBS Studio is a great way to do it. Just some quick tips on it. This is just the video capture off of a webcam that you're looking at right now. Some of the things that you can do with it, you can switch over to something like this. Um, this is a basically a scene, okay, obviously, and there's three sources to it. There's the webcam with my image here, and then there's the still image, and then the GIF. Um, when you're setting this up and you're adding the different sources to your scene, in order to get a moving image like this, you need you have to go with media source. It also brings audio into it. And I'll give you an example of that here, a couple of examples of that here in just a moment. And then the still image is just an image, and when you choose those and you hit browse, it will go into the files on your computer so you can pull those up. The Obviously this is the image of Draymond Green and LeBron James in the recent blowout that the Golden State Warriors handed the Cavaliers, and something I thought I might add on something that I'm going to have to kind of modify what I'm doing at Welcome to Loud City because of a shift change on basically my 9 to 5 job that is going to kind of change how I'm going to be interacting with my viewers over at Welcome to Loud City. And I'm going to go with more of a weekly type show, kind of a before and after. What did we do last week? What are we looking at next week? And maybe add little segments like this to just kind of add something to it, some topical something. But that's how you create that. If you want to do an image, something like that, and of course this was just thrown up really quickly, you can size it better. If you want. If you wanted to do something like that, like I said, a lot of versatility that you can do with the OBS Studio. Some things that I play with and have fun. The um, during the game, sometimes if because when I'm watching the game, I've got it live streaming at the same time, and sometimes you can catch some pretty neat shots. Put these together, add those to your broadcast. If you'll notice here in just a moment, once this clip finishes, the screen is going to black out. Now, if it's something that you want to continue to play, like I had the GIF, in the multiple scene earlier, there's some things that you need to change it. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this when I do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the media source, which again it's a moving video with in it. There's actually audio on that. I couldn't tell. I didn't pay attention if it actually played the audio or not. But I go here and I go to the properties and I change it to loop. And then it will just play it over and over and over again. I see there's no audio playing with this, but that way if you're analyzing it, because anytime you're going to use an image like this, it needs to come with, in order to use an image something like this, you've got to analyze it, and when you're using it on your live broadcast. And that would give you a chance, if it was something more than just a few words, to analyze it. If you had to really break it down, want to look at the angles, and let it replay over and over again, you just set that to loop. If you don't want it to loop, you just go in to the properties, uncheck that, okay, and at the end of the video, it will just stop, and it will go to a blank screen. Different things that I've thrown into my show at times. The still images, as like Kristen was showing us. This was, of course, the Stash Brothers from the Thunder. That was an image that Ennis Cantor put up on his Twitter account. Thought that was a pretty neat image of those two. The OBS Studio was actually put together as a way to demonstrate video games, and so that I guess the expert gamer, I don't play a lot of video games, could play the game and then give an audio feedback of what they were doing, what they were looking for, and things like that. And then the OBS Studio is the second version of OBS, and which they tied it in where you could start doing the Facebook Live and things like that. One of there's a lot of information on YouTube about OBS Studio. You can pick up a lot of tips and tricks if you just kind of study through YouTube. That's where I picked up most of my stuff.
Hey, you're talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
It was a favorite of one of the online guys that he said he likes to use that clip when he's getting trolled a little bit. So there's just a multitude of things that you can do with it. One of the things that I like to do is take a still shot of the box score and create an image, and then throw it up on the screen, and then analyze it. And you can split the screen, or you can just have that image up and talk it in the background. Be careful not to get stuck with an image on the screen too long without you there to interact with the viewers, because as I've watched, the viewership starts to drop if for some reason they like to see our pretty face. I don't know. But if hopefully these few tips will help. Again, if you're going to have video with any audio on it, you have to your source is going to be the media source. Let's see, let me go back to that. We'll go to media source, and then for still images, that's actually going to be just plain old image. And then one thing I wanted to point out, one of the limitations when it comes to OBS Studio. Some of the things you can do, you can also do like when if you're gonna do like the interviews, you can do display capture or Windows capture, and you can only have one on in your setup. So if you're going to duplicate it, just for instance, like the live feed of me, I don't have the video capture device set up on that feed right there. On this, what you do here to create this, since you can only use the webcam or your camera on your smart or your whatever device once, what this image is, and I almost forgot to throw this in there. this source is actually a scene, and when you add those and you look at the list, there is one that says scene, and when you click on it, it actually will pull up the scenes that you already have set up. And in this case, it was for the video capture device, so that it would put my image up here. So you can have your image on multiple screens if you want, so that your image is on any scene that you're showing. But you have to use it, you have to choose it as a scene, and then you can resize it as you see, where the main screen is when it's at full screen, and when this one, I just resized it. So that's some of the tips that will kind of speed things along to know exactly what these different sources do. This will get you further along than I was by a long shot. Maybe save you quite a bit of research on YouTube. Anyway, this is Jim Baker, Jim Walker, RK Anthony, whatever. Hope this helped. You guys have a great day and have fun with OBS Studio. It's really a lot of fun. It's a powerful, very, very powerful software. It's amazing that it's free. I hope you have fun with it.